Hello, John Talley here with Boats.net. Today I'm going to walk you through the process to do an oil change with a filter on our 2012 Moomba Mobius LSV. It's really not that tough to do. Just need to step over to the table, show you the tools and the special parts that we're going to need to pull this off. So let's go. Alright guys, the oil we decided to go with is a synthetic blend from Mercury, and it's a 25W40 weight oil, and it is made for this type of engine specifically. Now as far as the oil filter, we chose one from Sierra, and it should do a fine job keeping that oil clean that's circulating around that engine. Now regarding the special tools, you will need to pick up a fluid extractor. Now we carry several different makes and models on the site. You just need to find one that holds at least 8 quarts, because I'm pretty sure that's how much we're going to extract out of this engine. Well, now that we've got our parts and our tools ready to go, let's go dive into this project. Alright guys, this is actually really simple to do. There's 2 different ways we can actually extract the oil out of it. You can go through the dipstick, or they provided a line right here, and that's the method I'm going to go with. We're going to snake our extraction hose down inside of this hose and then pull the oil out. Now I do want to tell you, if you can, warm up the engine first, because this is going to take a while if you're going to try to do it with the engine cold. That is the case here because we didn't have a way to heat it up prior to the boat coming in. So it's going to take longer, but I'm using a extractor that is connected to an air source, so I've got the time. Now if you're using a manual extractor, you definitely want to heat up this engine oil first, or you're going to be there a very, very long time. So all we're going to need to do is just pull the end off of this hose and then put the extractor hose down inside of it. Alright guys, the method I'm going to go with is actually just inserting the extractor tube, and this particular one fits inside of this pickup tube really tight, and we want that because we're going to use the tube itself to extract out the oil. Alright guys, we've got our extractor hooked up, but let's go ahead and remove the oil fill cap so that won't impede it from pulling the oil out. There we go. So we've got our extractor hooked up and air pressure ready to go. I'm just going to turn it on and it'll start pulling it out. Now before you get started, if yours has a scale on the side of it, why don't you make a note as to where it is. That way you can see what kind of progress you're making as it pulls all that oil out of there. So let's go. Alright guys, the extractor has done its job, and it probably extracted somewhere in between 4 to maybe 5.5 quarts. So we can easily go ahead and put back in 4 without fear of overfilling it. Before we do that, we need to reinstall this cap and then pour in some oil. Now, could you have done this without an extractor? Yes, but not on every model, because some of them, I think it was 2005 through 7, the hoses weren't quite long enough to make it out through the drain plug in the transom. So there is an alternative way. If you're really patient, you can just feed it through there and then let it drain overnight, because it's going to take it a while. Me, I'm a little impatient, so I went with the extractor. This doesn't need to be super tight, just snug. Now you would definitely need a fairly long, skinny funnel to get this in here, because that hose is right on top of the fill hole. But that should work. And as I said, we pulled out at least 4 quarts, so we can easily dump in a gallon to begin with. Alright, next let's go ahead and address the oil filter, and then we'll come back and top it off. At least get it in the ballpark, because you will need to run your boat for just a couple of minutes to get the oil circulating. Make sure that the oil filter is completely saturated, and then you can get an accurate level check on it. Now the oil filter on this particular boat is nice and easy to access up front and center. So toward the front of the motor on the starboard side, right there. We're just going to use a regular oil filter wrench to remove it. Whoever put this on way overdid it. There she goes. Whew. Wow. I think Arnold Schwarzenegger may have tightened that one down. Now, so we don't make a big mess, we're just going to put a Ziploc bag around it and then unscrew it. But since this boat wasn't warmed up prior to, it's probably not going to be that much spillage. And if you did run your boat, yeah, you're going to have a Ziploc bag. Yep, we're good. All right, next we just need to reinstall the new oil filter. What we're going to do is go ahead and fill it up, more or less primes the filter, and then we want to put a light coat of oil around this seal. Then we're going to take it hand tight and then maybe a half a turn. Certainly not the amount of torque that the previous person did on that other one, because that one just about didn't come off. It was on there way too tight. Now let's get her reattached. Hand tight. And now we're just going to put a half a turn on it, and that'll be more than enough. That'll do it. Next, let's see where our oil level is, so we can at least get it in the ballpark. All right, so we're right at the midway point. I think we can go ahead and put in roughly a quart, and that should do it. But like I said, after you've run it for a little while, a few minutes, then let it set for 2 or 3 minutes, then check it one more time once you're out on the water. Let's see if that gets us to the top mark. Right on it. Now we just need to get our cap back on. Well, all right, guys, that's going to wrap up this little project. All we have to do now is head out to the water, run it for a few minutes, and then recheck that oil level. Well, listen, if you need any parts or tools for your boat, why don't you come see us at boats.net and we can get you taken care of. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the section below and I'll do my best to answer them. And hey, if you like what you see, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That way you can keep up with whatever I'm working on next. We just want to say thank you for shopping here with us at boats.net, and we will see you in the next video. Y'all have a great day.